Hi everyone, and welcome to week 3. This week the lecture will be Guided Project 2-3. Skills covered in this project are convert text to a SmartArt graphic, apply a SmartArt style and effect, create a pie chart, format a table, create a column chart, apply chart styles, format chart elements, insert WordArt elements, apply a picture style, and insert and align text boxes. Note, when we are finished with this project, your presentation should contain 6 slides. If it does not, your project will not grade properly and you may lose a significant number of points. Let's go on into PowerPoint Chapter 2 and Guided Project 2-3. Notice that we have no resource files for this guided project. So go ahead and download your instructions if you need to. Don't forget, those that are using a Mac, please click here. And then let's start our file. Do not change the name of your file. We are going to go ahead and enable editing. And the fastest way to save is F12. You can also use your Backstage View file and then go to Save As. And you might remember from last week, I have mine saved into a folder. I've now created Chapter 2. I meant to tell everyone last week, the number of times that you open any of these files, it logs them. So I've opened this 8 times. So I'm just going to go right behind that last paren, the closed paren, and backspace and take out the 8. And then I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And I will replace the one that I've already done. And now you can see that you should have your name, the name of the file, -02. The 02 stands for Chapter 2. All right, so that takes us to number 3. Convert bulleted text to a SmartArt graphic and modify the style and colors. Display slide 2. Select the bulleted text and convert to SmartArt. SmartArt is found in the Home tab in the paragraph group. And so we're going to convert to SmartArt. Select More SmartArt Graphics. And then you are going to go down and select the relationship type. So over here we have selected all, and that's just too many to try to filter through. So they always give you a hint. We want to go to the relationship styles or types, and then that narrows it down. And then it says choose the counterbalance arrows. So counterbalance arrows. Again, just hover over them and you can see the name does pop up. Click OK to close the box. Apply the cartoon style from the 3D group. Now you will notice that we have a box here selected and the actual object. We just want the outer box selected, so don't have this one selected too. We want just this outer one. Make sure that's got the solid line going around the object that we've just inserted. And to find the cartoon style, you need to be in the Smart Tools tab, then Design, and then you're going to open up your SmartArt Styles More button. And we want the 3D group, so we're going to want cartoon, and just hover to see where that is. By the way, unfortunately, these are not in alpha order, so just be mindful as you're setting for that final and you're trying to save time. You might not be able to on a question like this. You might just kind of have to click through to find the right style. Select the down arrow shape, and that's the one that's pointing to fewer layoffs, and then click the Shape Fill button. So we need to format it, so SmartArt Tools and then Format. Okay, and then we want Shape Fill because this is a shape. And we want to choose gradient, and then you are going to look for linear down. I don't know if you can see this very well in the video, but on your screen you should see that some of these colors are basically, you can kind of see that it goes from dark to light. This one is from the right hand side, so it goes dark over here to light. This one's from the corner, it kind of diagonal, it goes up, and you can kind of tell on each of these that it changes. So we're going to be in this, the dark variations is what the instructions say, and then click linear down. So we're just going to hover just a little bit, and it's the second one, and you can kind of tell that it starts really dark at the top and then progressively gets lighter. Next, in 3G, it says select the up arrow and apply linear up gradient. So we're going to go to shape fill, gradient, and we're going to go back down to the dark variations, but this time we want linear up. So I can tell this is kind of from the right, so we're just going to kind of have to hover just a little bit, and that's center, and this one's linear up. I just kind of wanted to show you the other ones, how they look. 4, insert a new slide after slide 2 with a title and a contents layout. Well, we're already on slide 2, so let's go back to the home tab, new slide, and then title and content. Now we have a slide 3. 5, create a pie chart. Display slide 3 and type employee salary satisfaction for the new title. Employee salary satisfaction. Next, click the insert pie chart icon. So down in here, we can either start typing and we'll have bullets, or we have icons. So SmartArt, we're going to end up choosing chart, but this is a table, pictures from our computer, online pictures, and then video. So become familiar with these icons. You will be using these the rest of the semester, and you will probably have this on your final at least 3 times, minimum of 2. Again, click the insert chart icon. Next, click pie in the all charts area. Then select the 3D pie chart. And again, if you hover over these, you will see which one you need to choose. So we want it 3D pie. Click OK. And now we have an Excel spreadsheet that pops up. And the reason why is because we're going to be filling information in, but to do that, you have to use an Excel spreadsheet. So 5D says to replace the spreadsheet data with the data shown in figure 2-112. When we are done, you will then close the spreadsheet. So if you turn your page for your instructions, you will see that B1, this is the cell, needs to be satisfaction and then %. If you click on your enter, it will take you down, so make sure that you end up in cell A and then row 2. And we're going to type very satisfied, tab over, and then 15. Hit enter and it should take you down to cell A3. Next, somewhat satisfied, tab 37, and then enter. In A4, now you're going to type undecided, and then tab over, and 18. And we're just going to do this for a little bit. Now, I want to show you something. I am not going to, if you look here, you can pull this down a little bit. I just want you to see what happens when I get ready to type in cell A6. And you can see that my box is not including this. I just want to show you what happens. Okay, so on its own, it extended this. And now I want you to make sure that you have no typos. This is extremely vital to your success on the final as well as when you're doing your homework. So make sure that you have no typos. Just go through and proofread, make sure you've got all the right numbers and that everything has, you're adhering to the rules. All right, and then once you're done, go ahead and click the red X for the Excel spreadsheet. Now we're going to modify our pie chart. Drag the chart title, satisfaction percent, to the top left of the chart area. So you're just going to look at your pointer and look at the change shapes. Left click that, hold it down, and then take it over to the left. Once you're done with that, it's still selected. Now let's increase the font size. Home tab, in the font group, use your drop down, and we want 24. Next, click the Chart Elements button. That's the plus sign, and if you hover again, it should pop up and say the name. And once you're in there, you will then choose Legend, and it's already selected, and we want Right. So the legend was down at the bottom. This is your legend. We are now going to make some modifications to that. Increase the font size of the legend to 20. Make sure that it's selected. Let me click off this so it's a little bit easier for us to see. So change that to 20. And drag it to the bottom right of the chart area. In 6D, we are now going to click the Chart Elements button again and then select Data Labels. And then open it up, and we want to make sure that we select Inside End. Click the Chart Elements list box arrow, and we're going to go someplace different this time. And we're going to select Series Satisfaction Percent Data Labels. So the Chart Elements list box arrow is found in the Chart Tools, and then go into the Format tab, and over to the far left in the Current Selection area, you will see a drop-down box. Go ahead and select that drop down, and then go down to Series Satisfaction Percent Data Labels. Notice that that selected all of our data labels within the pie chart itself. Let's increase the font size to 24, and then apply bold so they really pop out. Now let's modify our table formatting. 7A is where I'm at. So display slide 4 and select the table. Increase the font size to 20 and then select header row and banded rows. Some people will be a little bit confused with this. So it isn't anything that you're trying to select in here. What we're going to do is we're going to go into our Table Tools, Design tab. Over on the left underneath the Table Styles options are some check boxes that we're going to need to look at. So we want a header row, and then we want to band our rows. So banded rows. Be careful that it's not banded columns that you selected. That's a little bit different. We want to band our rows. Next, after you've done that, we are now going to apply the themed style accent, theme style 1, accent 2. Let me go back for a second. Do you see how we have these rows that have color? Well, even though we have selected header row and the banded row, so your header row are here, right? This is your table. We're going to do every other row with a color. Even though we've selected these first, we haven't selected a style to choose color. So that's what 7C is actually what we're getting ready to do. So again, we want to go to we're in Table Tools, the Design tab, because we're designing it now. And you want to go into the Table Styles group and click on your More button. And now you want the Themed Style 1, Accent 2. So let's just kind of hover just a little bit. So we've got Theme Styled 1, Accent 1. So let's go down one. Theme Styled 2, but that's not right. So let's go over. So Theme Styled 1, Accent 2. Now you can see that the header row box that we've checked marked, we've got it in white. That's our header row. Then our banded rows are every other one. So this is a little bit darker, lighter, darker, lighter, darker, and so on. Now let's increase the table size to height 4 inches. The table is already selected. So think about this. We're not designing anymore. Now we're doing a little bit of formatting. How does that layout look? So we're going to be in the Table Styles, go into Layout, and here's where you're going to find your height and your width. The fastest way to change this is not to click on your arrows up and down. That takes too many seconds to do that. Click once into there. It highlights the size in blue, and just click 4 on your keypad. Once that's done, it automatically updates the height and the width. Now let's click the center vertically button. That is found in your Table Tools, your Layout, because again, we are formatting, then in the Alignment group. I want you to be very careful when you are looking at alignments here. So we want to center vertically, and again, that's just hovering to look. So you're vertically centering the text. Here, you're centering your content, your object. So be careful. So we're going to take the text and center that. And then you can see that everything adjusted, all of the text. Now select columns 2 through 5. If you go right above column 2, your pointer changes shape. Once it does that, left click, hold it down, and we want 2 through 5. So this is 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then just release. Now you're going to click Align Right. We want all of the context in the column to go to the right. Right now it's Align Left. So how do we do that? Table Tools, Layout, in your Alignment group, and now we're going to align your content. So Align Right. Okay? These align to the top, center vertically, and then bottom. So just be mindful of that. Now let's, after slide 4, which we're already on, we're going to insert a new slide with a title and content layout. Now let's create a column chart. Select slide 5, which it automatically should have because we just inserted the new slide 5. And for the title, type salary change, comma, selected jobs. It does not need to have a period after that, so be mindful of that. Don't forget your comma, that is important. Click the Insert Chart button and click on the content placeholder. So let's go inside of here and let's insert a chart. And now we would like to do a cluster chart. So we're already on column because it's a clustered column that we're going to do. And the very first one is clustered column. And you can see what the other ones are. These are stacked and they all change. But we want clustered. Go ahead and click OK. Next, replace the spreadsheet data with the data shown in figure 2-124. Be sure to include the commas and the salary figures. Select column D, and then right click and deselect, and select delete. So let's go ahead and select column D right now. So again, this is our spreadsheet. Let me make this just a little bit bigger so that you are able to see that. So hover just above with your pointer in column D. You're going to left click to select it, right click to bring up your mini toolbar, and then just hit delete, and now that's gone. By removing the blank column, the chart displays correctly with no blank space. And now let's go ahead and start typing in our information. I'm going to start in B1 with 2016, tab over, and then that gets me to C. And once I'm done, I'm going to click in A2. And then I'm going to type in Project Manager, and then tab over. Don't forget your commas when you're typing this, and tab over. Now if I hit my enter, I end up back in A3, so it automatically goes right back over there, so you can just continue to type. And if you make a mistake, just double click in there into that cell and then type what was needed. Don't forget, you can just tab over, nice and easy when you're done, and then press enter. Make sure that you have gone back and that you have proofread everything. The other thing, when you get done typing these and you don't have the other column and rows highlighted in purple and in blue on your spreadsheet here, you may get a little dialog box that pops up that says error. Go ahead and just click OK and continue typing, and then your box for here will actually extend so that you're able to put in more information. Don't forget to proofread. You will miss something if you don't, so just be careful of that. When you were done typing and you've proofread, go ahead and click your Excel chart, X to close it, and then notice what we've done. So we've got some information going on. So don't forget that we had a 2016 year and a 2017 year. And so the X-axis down here, these are your titles. And so you remember in the column we had 16 and 17 to compare everything in this legend here, and it looks nice. So we've got two different colors to distinguish between the 2 years with all of our titles here. All right, let's take a look at 10. Modify a column chart. So let's delete the chart title placeholder. This is your title for the slide. This is your chart title. We're just going to get rid of that. If you click it once, it's going to select the chart title and just hit your delete key. Nice and easy. Now let's click the Charts Elements button on the right side of the chart, and then we're going to select Legend, and it's already highlighted, so open it up, and then click the More Options to open the Format Legend pane. This is your Format Legend pane. Next, click the Legend Options heading, and we have that open. So if you hover over these, this is the Legend Options effects, and the paint bucket is fill line. I'm just going to go on that just for a second. So there's things that you can do in there, but the one that we want is the Legends Options, and if necessary, to open the list options. So it's already open. Ours, we didn't have to, it defaulted to that, at least mine did. So if it's necessary, click on the Legends Options. Next, select top right. So that's down towards the bottom. Click that radio button. Now look what it did. Our legend, which was the 16-17 year, moved up to the top right. Now deselect Show the Legend without overlapping the chart. That's over here. Show the legend without overlapping the chart. We want to deselect that. Before I do mine, let me just show you. This is our legend in here, right here, excuse me, and this is our chart area. These plot lines, once you deselect, are now going to move up, and so they are overlapping our legend. That's all that is. Let's go ahead and close the Format Legend pane. Select the legend and click the Shape Fill button. So select our legend, and it already is selected, and shape fill. So we are going to format something. So chart tools, format, shape fill, and we are going to change the color to brown, accent 2, and be careful, we've got a couple of columns. This is tan, this is brown. Brown accent 2, darker 50%. Click the chart frame to select the chart area. So let's click the chart frame. Now we've deselected our legend and we have the entire chart. And let's click the shape fill color and let's change it to teal, accent 1, darker 50%. Select the legend and increase the font size to 18. So this is your legend. We want to make the font size to 18 point. And then repeat to increase the vertical axis font size to 18. Vertical is up and down, horizontal is across. So the sun rises over the horizon, right? So going across. And vertical, my mom has vertical blinds. So if you guys have ever had me for Excel, I use analogies. I just want you to get it right in your mind. So vertical, this is your y-axis, and then horizontal is your x-axis. So we're going to click on the vertical. We're going to change that to 18. Next, select the horizontal axis, and this is your categories down here. And we're going to change that to 20. We want that to stand out a little bit more than the values over here on this side. All right, 11. Select the picture on slide 6. I'm going to use my scroll bar. Select the picture. And now let's apply the moderate frame black. So as soon as I clicked on this picture, we have a new tab, Picture Tools. Let's do some formatting to it. In this picture styles group is the More button on the right. Just open that up, and we want moderate frame black. So it's a little more than halfway on that first row, and go ahead and click on that. And before I forget, again, these are in no kind of order, so they're not alpha order. So when you're setting for that final, you're going to have to kind of memorize where these all are. The majority of the time we use the moderate, but in our homework for the rest of the semester and on the final, you might have something different. So just be mindful of the seconds that are going to be ticking away on that final. Alrighty, now let's do some more things to the slide. We don't have a lot on here. So let's click the WordArt button. So we're going to be inserting some WordArt. We need a title and some things going on. So go into your Insert. Over in the text group, we have text box, header, and WordArt. Click your down button to open it up and select Fill White Text 1, Outline Background 1, Hard Shadow Background Style 1. That's a mouthful. If you hover, I just love Bill Gates, because really, truly, the guys there at Microsoft make it a little bit easier for us when we hover and everything pops up. So we want the Fill White Text 1, Outline Background 1, Hard Shadow Background 1. So that's this one. So just be mindful as you're looking at those. So this one's kind of similar, but that's not the one you want. Next, we're going to type, this is our title, we want to type employees are valuable. And then we're going to move this place, the WordArt placeholder, and then take it and move it up just to above the picture. So go ahead and use your pointer, click on it, and then just move it up. With the WordArt placeholder selected, click the Text Effects button, and then we're going to select Shadow and click Offset Diagonal Bottom. So we're going to do some formatting, right? So we're already in the drawing tools, we're in the Format tab, and we want to go into Text Effects. So in the WordArt style, we have Text Fill, Outline, and Text Effects. drop down to shadow, open that up, and now you want to look at offset diagonal right. This is kind of like the other arrows that we were using before, and if you open those up you can kind of see how the coloration changes. So look, this is the bottom and it goes to the right, so you can kind of see the shading in these. So let's look at the offset diagonal bottom right. So this is bottom left, offset right, offset center, and that's top right, but we want bottom right. So you might have to kind of go through them just a little bit just to kind of hover. And bottom left, so we're getting close. And it's the last one, inside diagonal, or actually we want to offset diagonal bottom right. So we need to go back up to the offset. And bottom left. And it was the very first one, sorry about that. But you got a chance to see all of them, so it didn't hurt us. It just took a few extra seconds. So offset diagonal bottom right. And now it's changed a little bit. Let's click the text outline button and make this pop a little bit more. And this is a little bit easier than the last one. So we want to select black background 2, which is this one. And then you're going to deselect the WordArt text. Next, insert text boxes on slide 6 for salary numbers. So click the text box button, and so we're going to insert something, so we're going to go to the Insert tab, and again we're in the text group, so text box, and I'm going to move my cursor around. You can see that I've got an upside down cross. My pointer is ready to draw a text box, so I'm going to put it right below this first guy here, and then we're going to type $75,270. Let's make some changes to this. Select the font color and change it to black background 2. So we're in the Home tab, go over to the font group, black background 2, and increase the font size to 20 point. And apply bold. And let's just make sure that we've got that selected, and then let's bold it. Okay. Next, we're going to position the salary underneath the first person if you haven't done so, and make sure you put it underneath of that first guy. And let's just kind of do a little bit of fixing. So you've got these little buttons going around. If you need to extend it, go ahead so that it's all in one line. With that text box selected, we're now going to press Control D. That's duplicate. You might remember that Control C is to copy, but we don't want to copy, we want to duplicate. So go ahead and put it underneath the next person, the lady, and press Control D again. And because we moved it underneath of the lady, the other ones, when we press Control D, actually aligns it perfectly underneath the other people. You might have to kind of move it over just a little bit for that last guy. Go ahead and eyeball that. Once you have that completed, now let's make some edits to the other salaries of each of those people. So just click in the box once, and I'm going to use my backspace key and type 64,644. Again, just click into the box, backspace, take out the information. The next guy is 55,340. And then the last young man is 49,982. We're going to select all of the salary text boxes and click the Arrange button. Last week in our lesson, we learned how to select all, and that is using your Shift. So the last box is already selected. Just now press your shift key down and then click on each of those boxes and then release your shift and your left clicker. And once you have those selected, we are now going to go and click into the Arrange button. We are in the Home tab. We want to go over to the Drawing group and open up that drop-down arrow and select Align, and then select Align Selected Objects if necessary. Mine's defaulted with the checkbox, so I'm good. So now we're going to just leave this open and we're going to repeat and go into the Align bottom. Now let's apply some transitions. Go ahead and go into your Transition tab. Click the Blinds button. So let's click your More button. Once you're in there, look for blinds. Remember, I keep telling you that there's no rhyme or reason with this, so they're not in alpha order, but blinds is in the second row and towards the end. Click Blinds. Let's apply to all. You still should be on slide 6. If you're not, make sure you're on slide 6 and apply the zoom effect to slide 6 only. So click on your More button for your transitions and then look for zoom. Important, when you are finished with this project, your presentation should contain 6 slides. If it does not, your project will not grade properly and you may lose a significant number of points. Check your work carefully. Go ahead and save it. And let's upload this puppy and let's see what we got. And while we're waiting for that, again, I want to remind you, you are able to use this. I talked about this in week 1 for chapter 1. But we're ready to upload, so I'm just going to say yes, submit the file. Hopefully I got 100. I did the first time when I got this. So again, if you don't get 100 and you need to change it, and I did miss something, go back and change what it says. So I'm going to open this up. So I got a partial one wrong. So it says click the text box and insert 75,270. Change the font color, black background 2, and increase it to 20 and apply bold. So it looks like I didn't change those, so it counted me wrong on those. Now let me scroll down so I can show you what that looks like. So here in 13D, you can see that I didn't do those correctly, and then there's 13A. All right, so just be mindful of that. That's one of those silly little mistakes, but when you're taking that final, you don't want those kind of silly mistakes. But a 96 is still good, but hey, if you want to change yours, if you were following along, just go ahead and make those changes in the file that you just submitted. Don't redo this, just make those minor changes and then resubmit. I have given you, let's go into that really fast, 3 attempts to do that. So I've got attempt 1, I got 100, and then attempt 2, while I was lecturing through this video, I missed a half a point, a couple of points there, and I've got 1 more attempt. All right, that's it. Use the Ask Dr. Barnes or question tab if you need to ask me questions. Don't forget to complete the other 2 independent projects.